Taking forever to kick it. All right, guys, we're here. You're looking down.
We're back. Brady's
A little late there.
Brady, you're here looking like a cone head, buddy.
I know it's the hair. When I look up, it looks like I'm balding, but I'm good. I still got the nice shine on my head, so we're good.
You're not balding. You know we're close to that.
No, we're not in your zone yet.
What are you talking about?
I'm kidding.
Where are we starting at, buddy?
We'll start off with Chocolito that you just finished watching.
Okay, so I was hanging out with the missus, so I didn't have a chance to watch the Chocolatito Estrada rematch. I literally just finished it like minutes ago. Wow, that was an amazing fight. The only thing it was missing was dramatic moments because they're so small. These dudes are 115 pounds. Significant punches don't do as much damage. Like these guys, they would get hit with huge right hands, left hooks, and just kind of come back and throw a combination themselves. But they combined for over 2,100 punches, bro.
That's not good for their head.
No. It was a split decision win for Estrada. I had it 8-4 for Chocolatito. One of the two judges that had it for Estrada had it 117-111. I'm good with the two scorecards. It was like 1 point either way. That's fine. It was that kind of fight. But this judge, I'm going to find your name, and I'm going to call you out on this. You're getting exposed. You're a bum. You're an absolute bum. We can't have you in the sport anymore. 117-111 Estrada is a joke of a card. You weren't even watching the fight.
So it was an all-out war, right?
Oh, dude, back and forth. Every round was close.
I always find with all wars, though, it always seems that wars, when you look at fights, even like Diego Sanchez versus Gilbert Melendez, like all the gaudy fights, they're hard to score because they're wars, right?
That's fair. Yeah, that's a good point.
Because there's so many moments in those fights, you kind of forget in the round, I guess. I always find those fights are harder to score. But I'll have to check it out myself. I just read some things about it.
Please, watchers, I'd like to get your take on it. And you're right, because it was toe-to-toe. So when their like heads are touching and they're throwing shots on the inside, it's hard to see, especially from a ringside. Yeah. We have a better angle as a viewer on the TV, so that's true. The angle that the judge has, it's hard to see what's going on with the little inside work from that spot.
I always think do they have TVs in front of them that they can watch it off there too?
I don't believe they do. No, I think they have to watch it live.
See, I think they should have 2 viewing points.
100%. I think they should get obviously the live viewing, like you said, a little tablet or something in front of them, and they should get punch stats at the end of each round so they know who landed at what percentage.
For sure. But we did have some UFC this week too.
Yeah, it was a solid card. What'd you think?
There were some great moments and there were some bad moments. We'll start off. We're not going to talk about too much about all of it, but we'll just talk about the big moments of the card. Manel Cape, you were pretty upset. Explain.
Okay, so first of all, I'm now 0-2. I'm betting on Manel Cape, so I don't know what's going on here, but I don't know what to say with this guy, man. He shows signs of greatness, and then he shows moments where it's like he doesn't understand he's in a fight.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, the first round of this fight was very reminiscent of the first and second round of his last fight against Pantoja, but then second round, he came on fire just like he did the third round against Pantoja, and then he kind of fell back into, like, a sleep in the third round in this fight. And then at the last minute, he came on and did some significant damage. So I feel you have to score that damage. It's just, I don't know. It's a weird fight.
It was a close fight. I did give it, because the ending sequence in the third round for Cape was huge. I thought the flying knee or whatever that hit. I thought that won him the round. I thought I think most people did think he won that fight. I don't think he'll be cut. It's a possibility.
It's possible, but I mean,
it's the flyweight division.
There's not. I don't. What do you do with him though? Like, he's out here. He looks like what's his name? Will Brooks, man. He's having a Will Brooks UFC run right now.
It's horrible, but at least Will Brooks got a win first off. So I don't know what you do with him. I mean, Pantoja was a good up and class flyweight, and then he was kind of given a guy who was cut from the UFC and came back. It was a fight he was supposed to win. Maybe I was thinking him versus Tim Elliott would be a good fight.
No, man. I think no. I don't want to see him against that because Tim's just gonna shoot for the takedown the whole fight, and if he gets him down, it's over. I don't like that matchup for him.
But what do you do?
Luis
Smoka?
Maybe I don't know. It's I don't know. Joseph Benavidez maybe.
That'd be nice. Someone gets back on track, right?
Yeah, and I think Joey's going the wrong way. I think that's a bad fight for Benavidez.
Yeah. Anyway, but we did get another bet that you bet on this weekend. By the way, Marshall did bet money on Cape, and he bet money on Gavin Tucker. Wow.
Dude, what the 50K Ige? They better give that man a knockout of the night bonus because that was just 22 seconds and Tucker was out.
Yeah, the fight, it's one of those things where, like, you don't know who is the better fighter, but, like, you just got caught with a shot, and it's sad to see there was no moment where we seen, like, do you know what I mean? Like, it was a
100%.
technical shot, but we didn't get to see, like, Gavin Tucker could have been the better fighter. He just got, a punch could end the night at any time.
It's very disappointing because Gavin Tucker, he's young in his UFC run, but he's still 34 years old. This fight was going to set him up for big fights in the featherweight division. Now he's going to be on like a medical suspension. The only bonus is he didn't take any damage outside of that one shot, so that's good. But
he's 34 though, so it's going to be hard for him to bounce back.
I don't know, man. He's going to be out for a while. That might be it, man. That might be the end of the run for Gavin Tucker.
I think you're going to see him fight again. He is talent.
Yeah. He's going to fight again, but I don't think he's ever going to be able to push into the upper echelon. Like, I think this was his moment, and I think it kind of
for sure. He had the 9th-ranked guy, and he got starched. I would like to see him fight the loser of the Cub Swanson fight.
Yeah, I like that.
Giga Dies, or forget his name fully, but we do have some fights this weekend. Or no, what am I saying? I'm jumping ahead. I'm acting like that was the main event.
Hey, I want to talk on the Eric Anders fight real quick.
Okay.
So Eric Anders, Darren Stewart. I picked Darren Stewart. I think you took Anders. Dude,
I took Stewart.
You took Stewart
by decision.
Okay, so Eric Anders had him violently concussed in the first round. Like, Stewart was pretty much out on his feet, and then we had a Peter Yan moment. He throws a knee. Luckily, Stewart had his arm blocking partial kick, and it wasn't a full on, like, it wasn't as aggressive as Peter's knee, but it was still a knee to the head. And they called it a no contest. Why is that a no contest? And then Peter Yan, Aljamain Sterling's DQ. It's weird.
I'm reading that one was intentional and one wasn't. So if it's unintentional, you don't lose.
Dude, it has to be black and white, man. It has to be. We can't have some people getting losses for doing the exact same thing to other people getting no I don't think it's right. It needs to be the same across the board. Yeah, different rules, different places. I don't know. Yeah, I think a lot of people are saying because it was in the first round too, they can't go to the scorecards or anything. But I don't know. I don't like it. I think both should have been no contest in my opinion. I think I don't know how I feel about it. I feel he should have been disqualified, Peter Yan, for sure. Okay, that's fine. But if you're going to do that, I think you have to disqualify Eric. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, rolling on to the co-main event. It was actually, shout out to what's his name? Sorry, Jourdain. Jourdain, man, what a savage. Oh, yeah, Charles Jourdain, yes. That was a ridiculous fight. He jumped off the cage, right? Yeah, he jumped off the cage through like an elbow or something crazy. But he was the only Canadian that was successful on this night, so shout out to him. He was getting beat up badly for 2 rounds and then just put it on homeboy and stopped him in the third. He said between the second and third round, he's like, I want to be a champion. I can't go out like this. I got to go finish this guy. Yeah. Okay, Jourdain, I see you, bro. I see you. Absolutely. And it showed warrior spirit. So, yeah, great win. Co-main event, the Canadian didn't do so well. I told you he was going to get violently knocked out. Yeah. He's been knocked out 4 of his last 6 fights. 2 wins between there, but by submission. I mean, 4 knockouts. I mean, he doesn't really have that much of a chin, Misha. Dude, I don't know why he was the favorite. Misha was? I didn't know until I saw them walking to the ring. I would have put some money on that. I don't know why Misha. He was a pretty significant favorite too. Wow. So Ryan Spann has just destroyed him. Yeah, I think he beat him in like 45 seconds or something ridiculous. Crazy. But yeah, I think the chin of Misha's gone. Yeah. Dude, I'd like to see him hang it up. He's only, like 32, 33? When you're knocked out 4 times in a row, like, he's been knocked out violently. Have you seen the Johnny Walker knockout? Yeah, Didn't he, like, break part of his face against Johnny Walker or something? Yeah, something like that. Okay. Rolling on to the main event, some serious controversy here as well. Leon Edwards and Bilal Muhammad fight to a no contest. What do you think? Am I the only one? Yes, there probably should be, but I don't think Leon
should fight Muhammad next.
No, okay, but let's just. I agree with you, but let's give some context to what happened. So
Even
Leon,
though it was a no contest and it was a second round, we knew who was going to win that fight.
I wouldn't go that far. Leon was looking good, but I wouldn't go that far. So Leon and Bilal were coming in the first round. They were doing their thing. Leon won almost every moment of the fight. He hurt him bad with a head kick, split the side of his head open, and he accidentally landed a thumb to the eye in the first round. But nobody's talking about the foul that Bilal landed. Bilal landed a kick to the nuts on Leon.
Exactly.
So those kind of cancel each other out. I know that I would rather get probably hitting the balls than the eye, but still, they're both fouls. Then we move on to the second round, and about 15 seconds into the round, Leon destroys his eye this time with one of the worst eye pokes you'll ever see. Bilal's all over, like crying and reacting horribly, and that is the end of the fight. Yeah, Leon looked great. Leon looked like a world champion. Like that was the best thing I'd ever seen. I don't want to see them run it back. I don't think it makes sense.
No, Bilal should fight someone. He was kind of gifted that main event by taking short notice. Leon should be fighting someone like Jorge Masvidal would be the perfect time to make it.
Stephen Thompson, bro.
Stephen Thompson would be a great striking match.
That's the fight to make. I think because they're both in the top 5 and they both they haven't really beaten anybody else in the top 5. So that's the fight to make.
And we need someone to be a clear-cut contender.
Yeah. Bilal Muhammad should fight somebody like Michael Chiesa, Neil Magny, something like that.
Yeah, I like that. Or Hamzat.
Yeah. But I think Hamzat's gonna be out for a while though.
We'll see. Yeah, but I just don't want to see the fight again.
It doesn't make sense. Like you said, he was gifted the shot. He wasn't even supposed to fight him. He was supposed to fight Tyron Woodley originally. People forget that in last March. Then he's supposed to fight Hamzat 3 or 4 times. Then he fights Bilal Muhammad just because he needed somebody to fill in on 3 weeks' notice. Give the man what he deserves. He deserves to fight a top 5 opponent. That's what he deserves. Not a title shot. He does not deserve a title shot off of a no contest, but he deserves a top 5 opponent.
No. For sure. I totally agree with you.
Yeah. Okay.
Do we have some boxing this weekend? I know there was a huge announcement today.
So we have Artur Beterbiev, the unified light heavyweight champion, is returning, taking on some mandatory, so an Avni Yildirim-esque type fighter.
But no one cares about the light heavyweights.
I love that division, but we need to get the champs fighting. So once Beterbiev finishes this guy off, hopefully we get him versus Bivol next. But that's all I got to say about that.
But we do have some news. Anthony Joshua versus Gypsy King.
What do you think?
I like that it's 2 fights signed.
Yeah.
The contract signed. It's perfect.
The only problem with these 2-fight contracts they do,
it holds the division.
It does that, and it's like if they split one apiece, then we have to go to a trilogy.
It's horrible.
But
we're looking at a Stipe Cormier moment. 3 years.
But we'll take it because these are the 2 best guys in their primes. We need to see this fight, so I'll take it.
Yeah. Either way, you know what? We were bugging for this fight for a long time. Well, the 3 were fighting. We got the Wilder out. Now we get the 2. It's kind of like a tournament.
Yep.
And we almost didn't get it with Joshua Ruiz. We could have Ruiz versus Tyson Fury, for God's sake. Imagine that. So when we finally get it twice, we're not going to complain.
Right. And this sets up a little tournament again, like you said. So right now we have Joshua and Fury fighting over on this side. And then we got Wilder Ruiz on this side. So the winners of those,
Hey. Ruiz is going to lose, and Wilder's going to lose to his next opponents.
All right. Well, I guess Charles Martin or Chris Ariel could have something to say about that. But in theory, we could be seeing the winner of Ruiz Wilder take on the winner of Joshua Fury. And then you also
years from now.
Yeah. You also have Alexander Usyk, who thinks he should be getting a title shot as well.
And Dylan White Povetkin winner.
When is that taking? That's got to be like what, next month?
Yeah, I think it's next month.
It's a big fight. I'm excited for that one.
For sure. But what do we got this weekend for fights? I know it's the card is your buddy Kevin Holland, the weird one. He's pretty hilarious, versus Derek Brunson. I actually just watched Jacare versus Holland. Great fight for Holland. And I just watched Edmund's fight against Derek Brunson. So before we get to the main event, let's get to the prelims. And is there anything that looks of your interest?
I'm looking at the prelims and I'm not seeing much. Trevin Giles is taking on Roman Dolidze. The main event of the prelims is Marion Renault versus Macy Chiasson. There's not much on the prelims.
Okay. What about the main card?
Max Griffin's taking on Keenan Song.
Blank.
Tai Tuivasa is taking on Dontel Mays.
Tai Tuivasa should get the win. They're gonna, you know what they're doing with Tai Tuivasa? They're gonna try and give him cans. And actually, they gave him who was it, Spivak, and he was supposed to lose to him to get him back on track because Ty's a good draw for the Australian fan base, and he got arm trial choked. So they're trying to give him someone who's an up and comer, but Ty should knock him out. That's what they're trying to ride on this momentum.
This card's tough, man. And then your co-main event, you got Gregor Gillespie taking on Brad Riddell. And
that is the co-main?
That's the co-main.
Oh, it's a tough card. Okay. All right. So, we'll talk about it a little bit. Gregor Gillespie hasn't fought since the Kevin Lee knockout.
Yeah.
He obviously needed some time to absorb that head kick into his mind. Like, after a knockout like that, best thing to do is not jump back into it and heal yourself up. That's just my opinion. I think if more guys, and let's touch on that subject too, I think if more guys took a longer time period off, like a Gavin Tucker knockout, they'd come back stronger.
Yeah, I agree. You see, like, the situation where, like, Michael Bisping got knocked out by so he got beat up badly and submitted by GSP, and then 2 weeks later he's fighting in China against Calvin Gastelum. It doesn't make sense.
You need to let your brain heal.
Yeah.
So Gregor Gillespie should, like, he's a better fighter in this fight. At one point, Gregor Gillespie was supposed to be the man to beat Khabib. You remember that?
Yep. Yeah.
So I think they're going to give him a fight that is winnable. That'll get him back into the win column, and they're going to try and bump him up again because he could be a serious contender at lightweight, in my opinion.
Right. You got the co-main and the main event in this. You have pretty drastic styles clashes. You got a kickboxer in Riddell taking on Gillespie, who's the American wrestler. He's got solid hands, but he's a wrestler at heart.
Yeah.
So I do think Gillespie will sit behind his jab like he was doing to Kevin Lee. People don't remember how nice his jab looked in that fight.
He was damaging Kevin Lee up.
Yeah, and he'll be landing that, and then he's going to shoot that double leg, and then he's going to maul him for 3 rounds. That's what's going to happen.
I do want to see Gregor. I don't mind him. I mean, when he ponytails, got to go, but I do think he'll get a decision.
Yeah, I agree. I think
he's a little older there too, though, isn't he? Isn't he like 34?
Yeah, he's about 34ish. Yeah.
So if he's in that Gavin Tucker situation where he can't afford losses.
100%. And if he wins this one, hopefully it's quick so he can get back on the horse because he's got to get going.
Yeah, for sure. Get him in quick. Now in the main event, this is a great fight.
Is it?
I love it.
Okay, tell me why, because I'm not seeing it.
I think it's going to be you're going to hate me for this, and I'm going to explain why. I do think this is an easy win for Derek Brunson.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. I watched the Edmund fight, and you know what? There's been so many times Machida, I can't think of too many at the top of my head, but Derek Brunson has always thrown these guys who he's supposed to lose to. And unless they're elite fighters coming to be champion, and I'm not talking about the Anderson Silva fight because we know he won that fight, but I'm talking like he doesn't lose to bad people. He's lost to Israel Adesanya. He's lost to Robert Whittaker. He loses to good people. Jacare in probably his prime. It wasn't Kevin Holland Jacare. Like, and look at Edmund was supposed to beat him. Everyone is supposed to beat Brunson, and what does he do? He knocks him out or he grinds him out. I think he's calmed himself down with he used to be a lot reckless, and that kind of took away from him. He's on a 3-fight win streak right now, and he's riding a lot of momentum too. And a lot of people don't give him credit for what he's done over the years. Like, he has some big wins. Like, he's knocked out Machida, and people just forget everything Brunson does. Brunson gets no respect.
Yeah, I don't know, man. These whole middleweight rankings are kind of weird. Like, we have Brunson's not even in our top 10, and they got Brunson at 7, and then they got Holland at 10. We got Holland at 9. I don't know. Their ranking system is twisted. But anyway,
unless you're a title contender, or unless you're going to be a title contender, you're not going to beat Brunson. That's just my opinion. And I don't see Kevin Holland, like, he'll beat the top guys, but he'll never be a title contender.
No, I think Brunson gets starched bad.
Really?
Not only, like, he might get taken down, Holland, but we saw he's vicious off his back. Look what he did to Jacare.
Yeah, but you also got to take the fact that, like, he's had a loss a year ago, just over a year ago, before his 5-fight win streak. Like, and we've seen him vulnerable before, and, like, he beat a Jacare. Yes, it was impressive, but he beat Jacare of 2020.
We both thought Jacare was going to win, though.
That is for sure, but I just think that Derek Brunson is still top 10. He's been top 10. Jacare was not top 10. He's bigger than top 10. And you just don't – I just think Derek Brunson upsets. I think he's more well-rounded.
Yeah, he's looked great since he's gone to Sanford MMA as well. So, but at 37 years old, how much does he have left in the tank?
If he's going to do something, he has to do it this weekend.
Yeah, I agree.
It must be the Melvin Gillard look.
Dude, he's out here looking like what's his name? The Wesley Snipes from Demolition Man.
Oh God, Demolition Man. I should watch that. Shout out to Demolition Man. I don't know. I just think I don't know who the favorite is in this fight. It's probably Holland. I might put some money on Derek Brunson.
I think Holland's about 2-1, but I'd have to double check.
You just think he'll strike some? Like, what do you think?
I think Holland might get taken down in the first round, maybe even the second round, but he will just land something. And Brunson's looked kind of chinny in the last couple of years.
He has been chinny. That's the only thing bad going for him is that he can't really take the best shot. But I just think, I'll give him respect. If he beats Derek Brunson, I think that's a bigger milestone than people give a win over Derek Brunson.
Right. And let's say he beats Brunson. You cannot tell me Darren Till should be ranked ahead of him. You can't.
No.
I don't think he should be right now, but that's just my opinion.
People are like, well, he had a close fight with Robert Whittaker. The fact is he didn't win the fight.
Right.
This whole Till situation is kind of weird. People love Till because we have a lot of UK fans, right? But he's beaten Calvin Gastelum, who's originally a welterweight.
And it's a decision.
Yeah. He's never beat. I think it was unanimous, actually, wasn't it?
I thought it was split. Either way, it was a close fight.
And it was not impressive.
It was terrible. It was awful.
And he's never won a true middleweight fight.
Israel and his coach both called out Darren Till. If they said if Darren Till beats Whittaker, they want him next. Here's my thing.
Well, you mean if he beats Marvin Vettori?
Sorry. Yeah, if he beats Vettori, he wants Izzy and his coach.
Which isn't happening.
Dude, but listen to me. He doesn't deserve the shot more than Coach. So he doesn't deserve the shot more than Whittaker. He doesn't deserve the shot more than who's the other guy? Vettori. All three of them deserve it. I know they're rematches, but they're more deserving than Till.
Yeah, I know. I love Till. He's a hilarious guy, but I think he is getting to that point where he's getting too overrated.
He's 1 for 4, isn't he? His last one.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got to do something. It's win or go home for Till here.
Yeah, but even if he loses, he'll still be main eventing.
It's insane. But that's all we got for you right now. Anything else you want to talk about?
No, I don't think there was anything else for boxing news, but I think that's it for the weekend. I took my hat off for the people. I didn't pick my nose for your dad. Shout out to Paul, and that's everything.
Last thing, Mike Chandler versus Justin Gage. He looks like it's going to get signed. I really like that fight for Chandler, to be honest.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that when it gets made. But all right, guys, we're out.
And stop.